most of the local FIFA referees was not in the country, I had to go to the Pro League level. Right? I had my first Pro League game in the year 2017. Never forget that date, June the 9th.
Welcome to Success Talks, the podcast. This is a podcast where we dive deep into our guests' minds to get all of their hints, tips, and secrets of how they attain and maintain success at the highest level. Welcome to the podcast. Kwinsi Williams.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
Yes. Without further ado, allow me for us to dive right into it. Can you give our listeners and viewers a brief history of your refereeing career up to this point?
Started refereeing at the age of 14 unofficially. And then in the year 2016, I went on to do the refereeing course, where it was a series of on the field and off the field assignments.
Yeah.
Then I went on to the zone level, where we all know as the zonal level.
Yeah.
And secondary school football league at the youth age. So at that time, I was not refereeing Premiership football.
Okay.
From there, I went on to, in a year time actually, I climbed to the Super League level. And from the Super League level, based on the recommendations made and the series of fitness tests I was passing at that time, from there I went on to the following year, which will be 2018, being selected for the RAPP course, Referee Advanced Program.
Yeah.
And from there, I was nominated as a youth referee, a candidate, a prospect for FIFA.
Okay.
To the POR program, right? And from the POR program, I was selected from out of 42 members associate, where it will have like other people involved. So some countries had 2 and 3 persons being recommended. And from Trinidad and the Caribbean, we had a number of people, but 2 was selected. Unfortunately, the guy from Haiti didn't get through with his passport.
Oh, okay.
I got through with my passport just in time. In fact, the day before I was supposed to travel, I got through with my passport. And then went to the program, which was the first part of it was the introductory course, where they'll introduce you to a different lifestyle, a different level of professionalism as a referee.
Yeah.
It went on for 3 weeks, a 3 weeks program where you'll do a series of games and analyze your games and so forth. Yeah. And then you return back home to your country. And then later in the year, around August, you return for the certification course.
Okay.
Right. In both of the courses, I did extremely well. The first part, I had a very good rating.
Yeah.
And the certification part, I had an excellent rating.
Okay.
And from there, it just keep going into leaps and bounds.
Okay, that is fantastic. Allow me to go back, because you said where you recognize and the passion really started at the age of 14. And at that age, let's say in the Caribbean, you will have a lot of persons, pursuing in the sport of football or cricket, maybe to be a player or a track and field athlete. But you will hear rare, stories of that age. Someone is already set their eyes on, I want to become a referee. Can you give us, your mindset, a little deeper in your mindset there, and what really spiked that train of thought for you to recognize now that I want to be a referee? Because you were playing football, you also played cricket. And explain to us, what really sparked that transition into you becoming a referee?
I think it has some key persons. First, being Jerry Richards from
Yeah.
Eddie Hart.
Yeah.
It actually started when they were a referee short on a game, in a Eddie Hart League game.
Yeah.
At that time, I was 14, and I think it was under 10 or under 8 game. I'm not too sure. And Mr. Warwick asked me to hold the, people will call linesmen, we will call assistant referee.
Yes.
And from there is when Jerry came to me after the game and say, you never referee before? I was like, no. The job, then I think about it. I was like, no, I want to play cricket. At that time, I was like, yo, I'm not into this refereeing thing. I have time still to play cricket and football. And he will continuously call my mom and ask her to come to Elliot Savannah to referee a game, to referee games. And from there is when I started to fall in love with the refereeing. I had that passion. I realized I had a passion for it.
Yeah.
Right. And I had to make a decision. I'd reach a point in life where I had to make a decision. It's either you're going into the refereeing, you're going to play cricket, or you're going to play football.
Okay.
And at the age of 17 is when Michael Grayson, St. Augustine coach at that time, again, no referee, asked me to referee under 14, and I did the game. And then he was like, I think you better serve as a referee. Forget the kid, forget being a football player. I think you better serve as a referee. You'll make it far in refereeing. And I started to take it into consideration. And then Marie Gonzalez, at that time, referees was on strike in Trinidad and Tobago. Marie came and he was like, Kwinsi, I need you to do a game today, a school game under 14. At that time, I didn't do the referee course officially yet, but I was on the line as an assistant referee. And from there is when I say, Kwinsi, you know what? Go and do this course and see how far this could take you. Not much young persons take up the mantra of being a referee. So basically, it's there where it all started.
Okay. We want to pick up right where you said there with regards to young persons. And I want to ask the question, you know, what was the feedback coming from your friends or your peers, you know, at that age? Because on an evening when they are going, let's say, to table tennis or cricket or football, you are now going to referee. What was that experience like?
It was an experience that most was like, you're a old man? What are you doing refereeing? And in my head, I was like, yeah, boy, is me old refereeing this game? Or but at the same time, having the knowledge what past persons who maybe was on the panel or had the ability to be on the panel, but some strangers me motivated me as well as my family. I think it was a bit easy in that the peer pressure wasn't there to like switch back. You know? It wasn't there to like switch back to, hey, go back and play football. So the day I finally played my last football game, I started refereeing, and since then I have not missed being on the football field as a player.
Okay, you say you make that transition 100% now.
Yeah.
Okay. And you know, I was always, you know, asked by persons, and also I will ask myself, you know, what is the mindset of a referee encompassed? Because you are in a situation where now you are in control of the game, but only there to officiate and give no way involved in giving the outcome of the game. What is the mindset like to require you to become a referee? What mindset you need to have? Like, you know, if you want to become a footballer, a coach, or a cricketer, you know, there are specific mindset. Can you give us, you know, an example of the mindset that you need to have to become a referee?
First thing will be discipline. That's key. You need to have a personality that adapt, because remember, most players come from different backgrounds, right? So you can't be had this one personality and expect to go through a game with this one personality.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta be serious, sometimes you could share a smile, sometimes, simple things like having a chat with a player, these things go a long way in refereeing.
Yeah.
And the discipline part behind it, you need to be disciplined. You need to have that discipline, whether it is training wise or whether it is game wise, or even self is watching a game to learn from another referee. You need to have that discipline.
Yeah. Okay. That is really commendable, because we will look on at games all of the time, and the referee, as I mentioned previously, he's no way involved in the outcome, but 90% of the time it's fair to say that he will somehow be the part of the blaming panel, I would say, of the outcome of the game. So when you incur these challenges as a referee, how do you overcome them?
If firstly is assessment of oneself. You have to be able to assess yourself, and this is something that I only learned in 2008 when I was for RAPP course. There will be people coming to say, this should have gone that way. This should have been penalty. This should have been free kick. This should have been yellow. This should have been red card. But deep down, if you have that skill, you possess that skill to assess yourself, then by all means, before they come to say it, you don't know to yourself that, okay, yes, that was a red card. And that's something I learned from Crystal Sobers.
Yeah.
She actually taught me, she and Caleb Wales taught me most of the insights of being a FIFA referee.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we understand your journey so far, and it has really been a really great one. And on your pursuit to continue learning the game, can you share with us, some of the things that you are most curious about, or as you will say, this will keep me up at night? Can you share some of the things, along that line for us?
First of all, before I go to bed, the majority of the nights, I wouldn't say only nights, the majority of the nights, I will look at clips. So I use social media platforms to get, right? So I'll get clips from somewhere in Europe and analyze the clips, because sooner or later, one day, I might be placed in that situation.
Yeah.
And for me, decision making as a referee that occurs over and over. It might have slight, simple changes, little or no changes to the situation, but you see it happen already as a referee. Yeah. So for me, analyzing clips is a big thing that actually keeps me up late, especially if I don't have the answer to it. Right? If I point in 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I still don't have the answer, I might save the clip and just simply send it to one of my fellow, find out what they think about it, to see if both of us share the same perspective on the clip.
Okay.
So that keep me up at night, and as well fitness tests. Tests, I don't think have a referee who sleeps comfortable.
Yeah. Also, in addition to the information that you just give, what are some of the things that persons who are familiar with you, that they wouldn't know that you possess? What are some of those things?
Persons that familiar with me, I love to to motivate persons. I love to have that laugh. So you
Yeah.
can be having the worst time, the worst day,
Yeah.
and I will at the end of the day turn that worst day into not one of the best days you ever had in your life, but
Yeah.
something that you can look back and say, I was down the other day and Kwinsi really picked me up. I like to be that friend, that colleague that motivates persons to see beyond their limits.
Yeah.
In other words.
Okay. Okay. Well, it's known globally now what we are going through, as a world, as a country, and was of course the pandemic was a surprise to everyone, but how did you adapt when you recognize now the games will not be coming as fast as before, or the courses will not be coming as fast as before? How did you adapt to keep learning, to keep on top shape? So if FIFA say, Kwinsi, we need you to come here, or CONCACAF say we need you to come here, it would not be too much of a strenuous process. How did you, keep on top of the game during this time?
I use it as a way to actually I'm home, less time training, going to games and this sort of thing. So I actually enjoyed the first part of the pandemic, and then I needed to find ways, and I was like, Kwinsi, you're saying you're studying when ball will come. You really ready to referee ball again? And I started to look at myself. And say, you use this time to get fitter, to get stronger. And I started to look at like marathon runners. I started to look at persons that do body weight training and this sort of thing. And then I was like, I don't just want to be a referee. I want when persons talk about me being a referee, they must say, that guy, he conquered most of his challenges in that game. He's one of the fittest referees, not just in CONCACAF or Trinidad and Tobago, in the world. So those are some of the things that really motivate me and drive me to continue training, even though it doesn't have any game. And even though we are in a SOE now, it actually motivates me to train even harder now. Because now that we in a SOE, we cannot go out to run. We're not training, we're not running. It have no walking, running, and this sort of thing. But you can train at home. So I think once you have yard space, it could be 10 or 8 by 8. Make use of it. Make use of it. And that's exactly what I've been doing.
So, Kwinsi, how do you define or measure success? Also, in addition, I want to ask, how has your age, played, or how did you handle that success when you get it in accordance to your age? Because, when persons, at your age, at any career path, when they get success or they reach a level that they was not at before, it's really hard to maintain, that perspective and that focus. So how do you define and measure success and also maintain that steady focus?
For me, success doesn't have to be big. Success could be me in a video test, me as a referee doing a video test getting 15, and then the next day I probably get 16. That's success for me.
Wow.
Or I run a fitness test, I feel it all the time. I'm feeling as a referee running a fitness test. But I get into lap 6 all the time again. Next time on lap 8, that's success. I think too often we want success, we think about big things. You have to, once we learn to be thankful, be grateful for the little things and the little accomplishments, then by all means, when the big accomplishment comes, handle it. And for me, when was chosen for the poor program and getting the remarks that I got, yes, it was a shock, but at the same time, was not in a way because I worked hard for that. So I put out. And my grandfather had something we used to say a long time is where you put in is where you
Definitely, yes. Most definitely. That is so true.
put in and 10%. If you go unprepared, then by all means, if you get an unprepared mark, then you deserve it.
Yeah.
So where you put in, you get out.
Yes. So
shortcuts.
True. Yeah.
You always used to say that China use the hard way.
Yes. That is fantastic. The way how you will define success and be really thankful or in a state of gratitude for the little things. And I think that can be adapted to so many lives, maybe a 5-year-old or someone who is in their late 90s. So what advice do you have to give to persons who is in between thoughts? They are not sure what they want to become, but they would have seen you referee games and I can become like Kwinsi Williams, but that voice, no, you can't become like him. What advice will you have to do you have to give to those persons?
Pursue dream, and at the same time, do not limit yourself to one thing. Not because you are a football player or you are a cricket player or rugby, netball, swimming means that you will limit yourself to that. Once you have age on your side, then it's okay to experiment. It's okay to try different things. Do not have to just one we're saying maybe swimming or track and field, one heat, one race. Try think outside the box. You never know what could happen. For me, I didn't think I would have become a referee. I didn't think I would have been selected for poor. I didn't think these things, I didn't have the most amount of experience in the country, but yet still I give it a try and it turned out well for me. And who knows, you might just try a hand at something else and it actually works for you, right? Think outside. Others keep saying, think outside the box and do not limit yourself.
Okay.
As I would say, no human is limited.
Based on the limitless abilities that human beings have, and referees are tasked with tremendous responsibilities. Looking at from World Cup finals to Champions League finals, when you are talking about, the world is looking on. What are some of the things that persons take for granted or misunderstand about a referee or the life of a referee?
First of all, the amount of training a referee does. The amount of ground a referee covers in a game. The amount of challenges a referee face. I talk about challenges, I talk about abuse. I was not on that part of being abused, but I've seen being abused.
Yeah.
Right. The amount under not just from players but supporters.
Yeah.
They never remember the one big, what we call big call or good call in the game. They always remember the one you make in the game. So it's a job that basically does not make you popular. You lose a lot of friends. You might lose some family along the way, but you just have to keep doing what you're doing and sticking to what you know.
Yeah.
Sticking to what you know.
Yeah. Also, I want to ask, but also you said that, your eyes are set to becoming the top, and definitely you are a standout, so you are on that route. But, when you sit back now and you look back, and also into the future, do you, let's say you had any regrets with your younger self, or some decisions you didn't make? Do you have those moments, or those thought patterns?
As a referee,
Yes.
yeah, definitely, definitely. It will have decisions that, again, analyzing your game by yourself, and it will have times where you analyze the game or you assess the game and you'll be like, yeah, Quincy, that was some crazy thing you did. And I think it's not just with me, but most referees, most top referees, you find even before the assessor comes into the room, they could already assess themselves. They could already say what they could have done better, where's the areas of improvement, where what's their strong point, and these kind of things. So definitely there have been times where I look back and be like, is it could you have keep this guy on the field somehow? You know? Because I, as a referee, I try my best not to go to cards, but circumstances, you just have to, based on the law of the game. And once you're protected by that law of the game, then by all means, you're covered.
Yes, that is so great that you mentioned that with regards to the laws of the game, because players, of course, they will know the laws of the game, or at least some of the game, some laws of the game. And as you said, your intention, and as well, every referee intention is to keep 11 players on the field. You will be put out of the game if you violate one of those rules or two of those rules, or keep violating one rule over a period of time, and the referee have no decision to put you out of the game for safety. So after you made that decision to put someone out of the game, and let's say the fans, or that same player, will see that a wrong is being done to him, how do you deal with that? How do you deal with that? Because if you're in a stadium of 50, 60,000, you now become the center of attention, but you just give him 7 go aheads, and on the 8th one, you was the worst person that God ever make. How do you deal with that?
Like I said just now, they never remember the good. They always remember the bad. A red card is a serious. We look at it as just being a red card, but in my eyes is like a handcuff. It's like a police officer putting a handcuff on the other guy, where he no longer could walk the streets until he's released. So the player, in other words, he no longer could play until he serves his suspension.
Right.
And despite what the supporters, if the foul goes in the direction of Team B, they think, and it's 100% clear that, this is Team B foul, they will have something to say. They always have something to say. So being strong as a referee, you need to be strong. You need to stand your ground.
And a mental toughness.
Correct is right. Never put that tail between your legs. Even though it's a clear error and you want to you're changing the error, still be strong. Don't ever let players and supporters feed off of the referee personality. So if they realize you have a shy personality, as in you laid back and you will allow things to happen and then react, then they take advantage of it in no time. And it have some coaches that the moment they see a referee, they'll be like, yeah, we get him, let me get him. And once we get him, we'll get calls in my favor. So you as a referee, you need to always turn up being that referee that, yo, I could laugh and I could not laugh, but I could smile and share jokes and so forth before, during, and after sometimes the game. But at the same time, I just take nonsense.
Yeah.
At the same time, I'm here to do a job. You here to play football. I'm here to referee. I'm here to uphold and really and truly be a judge in the sense of make sure no does not break the laws of the game.
Okay.
Not determine who wins the game, as I say earlier on.
Okay.
So you play the game, I referee.
Good. Excellent.
And once you as a referee has that mentality, then by all means you're on a good page.
We would like to get your thoughts on VAR, because I think VAR is a tool that is being glorified one day and being massively abused the next day. What are your thoughts as someone who will operate in that environment? What are your thoughts on VAR?
I think it's a good thing to bring VAR into the game. It's modern day, basketball have replaced, cricket have replaced. So why refereeing does not? We as referees, we are human beings. We make mistakes. And what you will find is the amount of mistakes in the game that a referee make. I'm not saying VR is 100% all well and good. It has its flaws, just like cricket in the DRS. You understand? So it has its flaws, but at the same time, the number of back then from 2014 World Cup, 2018 World Cup, check the amount of errors, right? Error.
Yeah.
Me, it's something good, but fans will see it this way. It's against my team, so it's bad now. Next week, when it's for my team, it's good. So it's something that you can really please everybody about. We as referees cannot please, or as a community, meaning referee community, we can't please everybody. So we just have to stick with what we know best, what's working, and move on. From here, it could only get better. I always say everything never get worse, because you know what it is like to fail. In other words, what it is like to have one short step of being, as you say, successful. So it can only get better.
Okay. We are the part of Success Talks, where there are 5 questions under the title of Quick Fire Questions, which you have 3 seconds. And these questions are sponsored by Auntie Rhonda, Your Time to Shine. Auntie Rhonda, Your Time to Shine is a platform which unearths talents globally, maybe in the field of dancing, singing, or drumming, and try to get that talent to where it should be, so the world can enjoy that talent. Are you ready for those questions?
Yeah, I'll give it a try.
What meal referee Kwinsi Williams can eat every day of the week?
What meal? Roti.
Roti. Is it a specific roti or roti chicken roti? If you have the opportunity to have dual citizenship, including Trinidad and Tobago, what country will it be?
Barbados.
Barbados. And why?
I think the citizens over there, they are very one, competitive, which I like, and 2, their beaches, their beaches.
Okay, good. We understand now that it's unsafe to travel, and those who are traveling are taking the risk. But when it's deemed safe to travel, what country are you going to say, I'm going to? And who want to come? If you don't come, I'm still going.
I've always liked to be to England. Experience that atmosphere.
Also, we understand throughout the conversation, the route that you are on and the success you have gained and the success you are going to get. But if you was not doing referee, what Kwinsi Williams would be doing at this point in time?
I think I would have still tried my hand at cricket.
Yeah.
I would not have. I still play actually, but not at a professional level, more of a semi-pro level.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would have been playing cricket.
Okay. And the fifth and final question. You are known globally, it's safe to say, as a young, aspiring, ambitious referee, and it'll just be a matter of time for you to, let's say, referee a World Cup. And but outside of the refereeing, what secret talent and skills that you possess?
I can do landscaping.
Yeah.
I can do landscaping, and I can also, I think, have a little planting garden.
Kind of gardener kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah, a kind of gardener kind of thing. I'm not too sure if it might grow, but
yeah.
Yeah.
For the persons that are going to get this content, maybe at the younger age, at the older age, and who are going to be inspired and really touched by this content, can you share your social pages where now they can really give you some maybe congratulations or maybe words of inspiration to keep achieving?
I'm not really big on social media. Most of my things will be workouts. So on Instagram will be Kwinsi, KWINSI _
yeah
28.
Yeah.
And on Facebook will be Kwinsi Williams, WINSI Williams.
Thank you for tuning in to Success Talks, the podcast. Activate your mind powers. You are unstoppable. Only you can stop you.